we stopping?
Együtt dolgozunk, gondoltam, jobban meg kéne, hogy ismerjelek.
There are darkspawn to be fought. Is this delay needful?
Jól vagy? Hetekig voltál abban a ketrecben.
You are concerned. No need. I am fit enough to fight.
Még sosem találkoztam ezelőtt Kunárival. Mesélj nekem a népedről.
No.
Oké. Nem. Miért nem?
People are not simple. They cannot be summarized for easy reference in the manner of the elves are a lithe, pointy-eared people who excel at poverty.
Azt mondtad, a hadseregben szolgáltál.
I am.
Harcoltál már háborúban?
I have always fought in war, elf.
Oké. Akkor hát ki ismered majd a harcmezőn.
Some of them. They aren't all alike.
Te mindig én gyenge vagy a kérdések megválaszolásában?
Generally, I do not see how this matters. Seheron and Parvolan are distant. Ferelden and the Darkspawn are immediate.
Igaz, menjünk.
As you wish.
Tudok nekírni? Hát, ó, itt vannak a idék.
Ah, it's good to see you, my timely rescuer. Bodon Fennick at your service once again. Saw your camp and remember the kind offer that you made the last time we met. And is there anywhere safer for a poor merchant and his son to sleep? I think not. I'm perfectly willing to offer you a fine discount for the inconvenience of our presence. How does that sound? Good? Yes?
Pontosan mivel is kereskedsz?
Anything, everything, but all of the finest quality. No cheap trinkets here. And my boy Sandal happens to be a bit of a hand
Sandal!
with enchantments. Oh, yes. Sadly, it also makes us a target for bandits and the like. If there were spare hands to hire as guards, I would have done so long ago.
Jó, van, akkor mutasd, mit árulsz.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Ha úgy emlékszem, rohadt drága minden nála. Így van. Jézusom. 24-es mágiát, az pont nincs. De legalább el tudnak kiadni. Várjál, egyelőre nagyikám a Stannek is kell valami fegyver. Jó, álljunk meg egy pillanatra. Na. Ő is kétkezes tudsz hordani, kiváló. Jó. Oké. Na, most már leteszem a
Something you
rabot.
need? I'm sure either my boy or I can help you out. I'm
Jó,
sure you'll be pleased
előbb,
with the goods my boy and I
előbb
have
eladunk.
and with your discount.
Esküt alatt, de szomorharcás neve van. Nem tudom, mire való ez. És ha rákeresek, az mondom, hogy jó. Meg nem is használtam ezt a tárgyat, szóval. Szerintem ezeket a kicsiket el lehetne adni. És most már csak a nagyokat használni. Jó, na most lássuk, minket árulsz. Ez tök jó lenne, csak nem értek hozzá. Tök jó. Ilyen night. Ja, ezeket én adtam el. Wow. Hidegsebzés, ez a kívül. Majd az enyémek sem rosszak, szóval. Na, felderítő kézikönyv. Hát arra most már nincs cash. Pedig de jó lenne.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
Hello. The boy's a bit simple, but he's really good with enchantments. One of those tranquil fellas actually called him a... what was it now? A savant. I had no idea such a thing existed.
Féle bűvölésekhez ért.
He can fold lyrium into almost any weapon or piece of armor, though naturally some of the more extravagant materials will take more lyrium than others. It's a process that some of the master smiths back in Orzammar will perform, but my boy here is just as adept at it. Isn't that right, boy?
Enchantment!
You have it.
Na, akkor mutasd.
Oh, certainly, I can do that for you.
Nem erre gondoltam. Nem erre gondoltam. Várj, akkor
Are
már...
you sure I can't interest you in this hat? A pair of earrings, perhaps? A cheese knife? I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Meg valami fire-rezisztes tudsz kéne. Vagy fagsebzi. Appá, 13 gold, tökéletes.
Enchantment? Enchantment!
Hogy azt lehet így. Jó. Tegyük? Most megcsináltad? Király. Azt hittem, a sajátomat fogom tudni. Nem mindegy.
I'm sure either my boy or I can help you out.
Kérdezzük meg, hogy szól a történet.
Well, if you're really interested, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to tell you. I am originally from Orzammar, the famed dwarven city that lies beneath the stately Frostback Mountains. I was a merchant there too. Merchant caste. These things are in the blood, you know. You can't just leave them behind. Ran a fairly successful business. Rare artifacts, you know. Old things, grand things. The nobles loved it. Reminded them of the lost glory days, I suppose.
Miért mentél el?
One day, a noble woman came to my store. She looked around for a bit and then started shrieking in dismay. Apparently, she believed that a pair of braces I had for sale once belonged to her brother. He'd been lost in a cave-in, you see, while on an expedition to clear out the Darkspawn from one of the tunnels running close to the city. They were made specially for him. They're unique, she shrieked. He stole them from my poor brother's corpse. She had me arrested on the spot, of course. Nobles, they're touchy like that.
És te nem történt?
Well, I didn't steal them. You see, I'd been paying these castless thugs to venture out into the deep roads for me. The lost tags. They're full of things that people left behind. Sometimes you can find a treasure. Something worth a little gold.
Értem.
The noblewoman, she wasn't too happy with the theft of her brother's braces. I don't know what they planned for me, and I didn't want to find out. Bribed the guard that was watching me and took off for the surface first opportunity I got. Never looked back.
Most pedig itt vagy.
Yes, here I am. Now, is there anything the boy or I can get you?
Honnan vannak ezek az áruk?
Look, we don't rob people, all right? We don't take things from people that need them. The things in the lost tags, what good did they do lying there? I brought them back to Orzammar where people could look at them and remember. It's not all that different up here. There are places long abandoned by the humans everywhere. Even more now with the Darkspawn coming.
Ezt hogy érted?
People flee from the blight with good reason, but they forget things. Things with value and meaning. They leave them behind because they're frightened and desperate. And sometimes, my boy and I, we find our way to these places before the Horde descends, and we save these things. I take them away so the Darkspawn don't get them. Is that so bad? They destroy everything they touch.
Hát talán jobb is, mintha az én fattyák mindent elkaparintanának.
That's what I tell myself too. Ah, these are dark times indeed. Dark times, my friend.
Nem említetted a fiadat.
Ah, yes. I'm married to a fine woman back in Denerim, it's true. She'd give me a son if she could, but that's not likely to ever be. Sandal here. I found him in the deep roads years ago. Abandoned, I think, and he was never quite right in the head. I took him in, and I brought him with me when I came here to the surface. He may not be my blood, true, but I think of him as one.
We left Orzammar.
That's right, boy. Maybe one day we'll see it again.
Nagy lelkű voltál.
It's not as if I don't benefit, mind you. Turns out the boy's a natural working with enchantments. He might have even been lyrium-addled. I never thought of that before, to be honest. Happens sometimes. He can work an enchantment into just about anything, however, given some time. Could probably open his own shop, if he knew how.
Enchantment.
Well, he does seem to enjoy it, at least.
És hallottál valami pletykát?
Some folks aren't happy about Tern Loghain being named Regent. There are rumors he had something to do with the king's death. Isn't that the most ridiculous thing you ever heard? The Darkspawn killed him, sure enough. If Tern Loghain couldn't save the king from that inn, then nobody could. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Oké, köszi.
Of course. Good fortune to you and yours.
Goodbye.
Morrigan.
What do you wish of me?
Kérdezni szeretnék
If
valamit.
you must.
Hogyan lettél
I
alakváltó?
was not born such. 'Tis a skill of Flemeth's, taught over many years in the wilds. The chastened have tales of we witches, saying that we assume the forms of creatures to watch them from hiding. When a child is alone and separate from his tribe, that is when we strike, dragging the young boy kicking and screaming to our lair to be devoured. A most amusing legend.
De ez csak egy legenda, igaz?
So I assume. My mother has walked the wilds far longer than I. Who am I to suggest what things she has done and not done in her past? Why do you ask? Is there something specific you wish to know?
Fel tudod venni más emberek alakját is?
The form of an animal is different from my own. One may study the creature, learn to move as it does, think as it does. In time, this allows one to become as it is. I gain nothing by studying another human. I already am the same as they are. I learn nothing. So the answer is no, my human form is the only one I possess.
Bárki lehet alakváltó?
Anyone with sufficient will, but the act of transformation is a magical one. 'Tis a spell and thus requires a mage's talents. Indeed, you could learn the spells required if I cared to teach you.
Sok időt töltesz állati alakban?
There were nights when the wilds called to me, 'tis true. You look upon the world around you and you think you know it well. I have smelled it as a wolf, listened as a cat, prowled shadows that you never dreamed existed. But my life is as a human. I am under no illusions to the contrary.
És mit gondol róla a többi állat, amikor az ő alakjukat viseled?
They do not shy away from me. To their senses, I believe I seem like any other of their species. As to what they think, I truly cannot say. Just as I am still human, no matter my form, they are still animals. Thus they cannot speak, even were I to ask.
Soha nem hallottam efféle málkiáról.
No, 'tis not unheard of in the remote corners of the world. There are traditions of magic outside of the circle of magi, despite what those mages would have you believe. Some of these traditions are old, indeed, passed down as carefully guarded lore from one generation to the next. The zealots of the chantry would uproot all such practitioners if they could, but as luck have it, some still exist. My mother is such a one.
Ja, hát efféle hagyományokat még felőrizni.
I'm shocked that you think so. Being a mage of the circle as you were, but perhaps you felt a little like a caged bird as well, caught within that dark tower.
Talán egy kicsit igen.
I thought so.
Csak én akartam kérdezni.
Indeed. Have you an opinion on my abilities, then? Am I an unnatural abomination to be put to the torch?
Úgy félem, a képességét meglehetősen hasznos
A
az.
most practical opinion. Far more so than any man I have spoken to. But enough of such talk. Let us proceed, lest the dust gather on us.
Na, aztán beszéltem mindenkivel. Elmentjük. Hogy itt bármi történjen. És menjünk Red Cliffbe. Alistair,
Indeed.
Morrigan, és Liliana. Egyelőre most át lesz. Akkor Red Cliff. Úristen, harc nélkül eljutottunk oda, nem? Ilyen sem volt még.
Look, can we talk for a moment? I need to tell you something. I should probably have told you earlier.
Mi a fejedben?
Well, let's see. How do I tell you this? We're almost at Redcliffe. Did I say how I know Al Eamon exactly?
Úgy emlékszem, azt mondtad, ő nevelt fel.
I'm a bastard. My mother was a serving girl at Redcliffe Castle, and she died when I was born. Al Eamon took me in and raised me before I was sent to the Chantry. The reason he did that was because my father was King Marek, which made Kaelin my half-brother, I suppose.
Ez azt jelenti, hogy trónörökös vagy?
Maker's breath, I hope not. I don't think so. You don't think so, do you? I'm a bastard. And nobody even knows about me. I would have told you, but it never really meant anything to me. I was inconvenient, a possible threat to Kaelin's rule, and so they kept me secret. I'd never talked about it to anyone. Everyone who knew either resented me for it or they coddled me. Even Duncan kept me out of the fighting because of it. I didn't want you to know as long as possible. I'm sorry.
Azt hiszem, értem.
Oh, good. I'm glad. It's not like I got special treatment for it anyhow. Al Eamon eventually married a young woman from Orlais, despite all the problems it caused with the king so soon after the war. He loved her a great deal. Anyway, the new Arlessa resented the rumors which pegged me as the Arl's bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care, but she did. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10. Just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me.
Tudja, hogy mi az igazság veled kapcsolatban?
She may have, but I think it's more likely that she feared the rumors might be true. I can't blame her for that. I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall. And it shattered. Stupid thing to do. The Owl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there and blamed him for everything. And eventually he just stopped coming.
Hát mondjuk az, hogy fiatal voltál.
And raised by dogs. Or I may as well have been the way I acted. But maybe all young bastards act like that, I don't know. All I know is that the Arl is a good man and well loved by the people. He also was King Kaelin's uncle, so he has a personal motivation to see Loghain pay for what he did. So there you have it. Now can we move on? And I'll just pretend you still think I'm some nobody who was too lucky to die with the rest of the Grey Wardens.
Ahogy parancsolod, hercegem.
Oh, lovely. I'm going to regret this. Somehow I just know it.
De még mennyire, hogy meg fogod bánni a Lisztert? De még mennyire?
I thought I saw travelers coming down the road, though I scarcely believed it. Have you come to help us?
Pontos ügyben járok, Émonhoz jöttem.
Oh. Then you don't know. Has nobody out there heard?
Azt hallottuk, hogy nagyon beteg.
He could be dead for all we know. Nobody's heard from the castle in days. We're under attack. Monsters come out of the castle every night and attack us until dawn. Everyone's been fighting and dying.
Apparently Everyone seems to agree that a blight is the perfect time to start killing each other. Marvelous, really.
We've no army to defend us, no Arl, and no king to send us help. So many are dead, and those left are terrified they're next.
Hold on, what is this evil that's attacking you?
I don't rightly know. I'm sorry, nobody does. I should take you to Ban Tegan. He's all that's holding us together. He'll want to see you.
Ban Tegan, Arlemon's brother. He's here.
Yes. It's not far, if you'll come with me.
Bírom ezt a falut amúgy. Kettő hakba szakadt ízi. Hogy lehet így járni, de komolyan.
It's Thomas, yes? And who are these people with you? They're obviously not simple travelers.
No, my lord. They just arrived, and I thought you would want to see them.
Well done, Thomas. Greetings, friends. My name is Tegan, Ban of Rainersphere, brother to the Arl.
I remember you, Ban Tegan. Though the last time we met, I was a lot younger and covered in mud.
Covered in mud? Alistair? It is you, isn't it? You're alive! This is wonderful news.
Still alive, yes. Though not for long if Tern Loghain has anything to say about it.
Indeed. Loghain would have us believe all Grey Wardens died along with my nephew, amongst other things.
Nem hiszed el Loghain hazugságait?
What, that he pulled his men in order to save them? That Kaelin risked everything in the name of glory? Hardly. Loghain calls the Grey Wardens traitors, murderers of the king. I don't believe it. It is an act of a desperate man. So you are a Grey Warden as well. A pleasure to meet you. I wish it were under better circumstances. You're here to see my brother. Unfortunately, that might be a problem. Eamon is gravely ill. No one has heard from the castle in days. No guards patrol the walls, and no one has responded to my shouts. The attack started a few nights ago. Evil things surged from the castle. We drove them back, but many perished during the assault.
Miféle gondolatolgok? Miről beszélsz?
Some call them the walking dead, decomposing corpses, returning to life with a hunger for human flesh. They hit again the next night. Each night they come with greater numbers. With Kaelin dead and Loghain starting a war over the throne, no one responds to my urgent calls for help. I have a feeling tonight's assault will be the worst yet. Alistair, I hate to ask, but I desperately need the help of you and your friends.
It isn't just up to me. Though the Grey Wardens don't stand much chance against Loghain without Arleman.
Természetesen segítünk.
How pointless to help these villagers fight an impossible battle. One would think we had enough to contend with elsewhere.
Thank you. Thank you. This means more to me than you can guess. Thomas, please tell Murdoch what transpired. Then return to your post.
Yes, my lord.
Now then, there is much to do before night falls. I put 2 men in charge of the defense outside. Murdoch, the village mayor, is outside the chantry. Sir Perth, one of Eamon's knights, is just up the cliff at the windmill, watching the castle. You may discuss with them the preparations for the coming battle.
Beszéljünk a helyzetünkről.
Of course.
Ímonor lovagjai közül vannak itt néhányan, igaz?
I have those few who returned from their quest. You know of this, yes?
Szent Hamvak urnájának keresése?
Yes, I question Isolde's decision to send so many knights in search of this relic. But I am a practical man, whereas she is a woman of great faith. Sir Perth was one of the knights sent on this quest. Perhaps you should speak to him if you wish to learn more.
Miért vagy itt a káptalanban a falusiakkal?
Perth insists. He wants me to be with the villagers, so everyone he needs to protect is in one place. I don't mind, to be honest. The point of all this is to protect the villagers, and I can do that best here. This is the last line of defense, should things go amiss.
Ha dolgok valósulnének
Should the
el.
monsters find their way in? I would prefer not to fight in the chantry, but if they come, then so must it be. We could bring some men in to stand beside me, but I'd rather keep the monsters away from the villagers if possible.
És mi lesz a csata után?
Hopefully we can find the source and stop it before it causes any more damage. With luck, we'll also find Eamon and be able to help him.
Mik ezek a dolgok, amelyek a falut osztották?
I do not know. They seem to be walking corpses, men with rotting flesh that continue to attack even with the gravest injuries.
Undead, spirits possessing the dead. There could be several causes behind such a thing, none of them pleasant.
Hát akkor jobb, ha
Very well.
megyünk.
Luck be with you, my friend.
Jó. Na hát, ennyi volt srácok a Dragon Age mára, másodra, legközelebb innen fogjuk folytatni, addig is, Hali.